Ecuador, the national team that is going to surprise millions of people this summer in 2026. Or at least that is what I hope, because I will be doing this video speaking almost as an Ecuadorian fan. I love this team. I've followed this team since before the last World Cup. I've been riding the hype train for years and years and years. I've held my stock in this team. I love the country, the people of Ecuador. It's always been one of my favorite teams watching football growing up in South America. They're just such a vibe, such incredible players have come through that country in the past, and most notably in this generation. And when they want to, they can play some really, really electrifying football that gets you off your seat and have some really talented players. So I'm going to be doing this video as a fan of Ecuador. I absolutely love them. But let's preview what we can expect from Ecuador at this 2026 World Cup. I did a video talking about Ecuador almost a year ago, right? I think it's about a year ago, but it's time to reassess. Things have changed. We've seen more games under BKSS, and the World Cup is now just 38 days away. And this is crunch time for Ecuador. I know I've got Ecuadorian fans in the comments. I'm making this video for you guys. I love your national team. I will be supporting you guys all the way. So drop a like on this video and subscribe, please. And let me know, guys, in the comments which team you want to see me do next. But let's jump straight into it. Ecuador were fantastic in qualifying. Their qualification campaign, they started on -3 points due to the Byron Castillo case, and they finished in second place, only behind Argentina, conceding just 5 goals in 18 games. The defense is the best in international football. I've said that many times. I stand by that. The likes of Piero Hincapié, William Pacho, Joel Ordóñez as a back three, and then whoever you go, do you go Estupiñán, do you go Alan Franco, or do you go my boy Angelo Preciado, with Galíndez in goal as well. The defense is fantastic. The defense is absolutely brilliant, and I don't think people are aware just how good they are. I think unless you watch CONMEBOL often, or you watch the Ecuadorian national team often, you don't know quite how good these guys are defensively, and I think they're going to really shock people, because in a group with Côte d'Ivoire and Germany, a lot of defending is going to be required. Those are two of the strongest teams, and then obviously Curaçao, in which you expect Ecuador to be the dominant team. But I think Ecuador are really going to surprise people in this group. I think that they should have expectations of trying to top this group. I think it's very possible that they do. I think that if they play to the best of their ability, they can. However, the glaring issue, we'll address it immediately, it's the attack. Ecuador don't score enough goals. The amount of 0-0s that they had in World Cup qualifying, I think it's a total of 8 0-0s in World Cup qualifying. I mean, that's just ridiculous. That's ridiculous, right? And it was under Felix Sanchez. It was either under Gustavo Alfaro before that. They had a lot of goalless results. If you look at the lead up to the 2022 World Cup, they played out 0-0 games with Saudi Arabia, Japan, Iraq, Mexico. So this was an issue before the last World Cup as well. However, they came to that World Cup and they scored goals. They scored 4 goals in 3 games. They scored in every game. And goal scoring wasn't the issue that led them to being grouped. It was actually the weaker defense. Maybe history's going to repeat itself. But going forward, I have question marks for Ecuador, because the main man, Ener Valencia, is 36. He is an absolute legend of this national team. He was brilliant at the last World Cup. He was there in 2014 in Brazil, and he was good back then. Now he's 36. He's at Pachuca. He's slowing down, but he's still Ener Valencia. But he's the man that has to score the goals for them, because otherwise, I don't know where the goals come from. Now, BKSS as football, I'm not convinced by. I'm not convinced by BKSS as a manager. I don't know if he's qualified enough to have the golden generation of Ecuador. I think he just lets the players play. And I'm not convinced by his squad selections either. If I was Ecuador manager, I would do stuff a little bit differently. But it's most likely that Ecuador are going to rock up with a back four, more like a 4-4-2, 4-4-1-1 kind of system. And behind Ener Valencia is probably going to be Gonzalo Plata. And on the wings, it'll probably be John Yeboah and Nilson Angulo. Very good players, but they're not really goal scorers, right? Yeboah is a good player. He's had a good season with Venezia. Nilson Angulo made the move to Sunderland, hasn't done much there. He's got injured, but I think he's a very talented player, very good dribbler. And then Gonzalo Plata as a player, I just absolutely love. He is so good and really makes me want to watch the game. The way he dribbles, the way he glides past players, you know, remember at the last World Cup, that crossbar hit against Netherlands, that could have sent them through, top of the group. Oh my God, that would have been amazing. He's such a technically gifted player. I love watching him. He's a joy to watch. And he's probably going to start behind the 10 with Caicedo and Vite as the midfield two, and then the back four with Galindez in goal, as I mentioned previously. But Ecuador have a very young team, right? This generation of Ecuador is going to be at their peak at the next World Cup and maybe the World Cup after that. They've got so many young players coming through. They've got great academies now in Ecuador. The infrastructure is growing. Independiente del Valle are producing fantastic footballers on a regular, right? Some players, you know, playing at Liga de Quito, playing at Barcelona. Really, really good. The Ecuadorian league is growing, right? They're doing well in Libertadores, in Sudamericana. And I think off the bench as well, Ecuador are going to have so many options. The likes of young talents going forward like Kendry Paez, right? Like my boy from Sparta Prague, John Mercado, right? I think there's going to be a lot of good, interesting young talents. And you need this squad depth, especially, you know, you're going to have to be rotating at this tournament. 5 subs, potentially in the knockouts, extra time. You're going to need a lot of these attacking players. And I think Ecuador have that. I think the squad is fantastic. It's now about how you utilize them. Ecuador need to find a way to score more goals. They really do. And I'm really scared for them in that first game, especially because I don't think Caicedo is going to play due to getting sent off in qualifying against Argentina. I believe that will rule him out of this game. And that worries me because, first of all, Caicedo is absolutely crucial for this team. I don't know who's going to fill that role. And then second of all, Côte d'Ivoire's attack is scary. Diallo and Diomande on the wings. I mean, Ecuador's defense is fantastic, but that attack, those 1v1 dribblers, could cause Ecuador problems. Now, I think Ecuador could also utilize the fact that Côte d'Ivoire's defense at the AFCON wasn't the best. I mean, Egypt scored 3, right? So if Egypt scored 3, Ecuador can certainly score. In the recent qualifiers, friendlies, 1-1 with Morocco, 1-1 with the Netherlands. The only team in these friendlies that they've managed to score more than 1 goal against was New Zealand. And in qualifying, they did it to Venezuela and Bolivia at home. But other than that, they really struggled to score more than 1 goal. Set pieces, good team. Ecuador's a good set piece team, for sure. And they're going to have to utilize this. But I still have a glimmer of hope that it's going to be a 2022 situation and they're going to come to the tournament and know how to play attacking football just like they did last time. Because we were saying these exact same things. I remember 4 years ago, we were saying these exact same things. And then Ecuador showed up to the tournament and played some really nice, electrifying attacking football. Let's hope history repeats itself. I think that first game against Côte d'Ivoire is huge because then you have Curaçao, right? If you get a victory against Côte d'Ivoire, go into that Curaçao game calm. You just control the ball, handle it, you win that game. That should be an easy win, right? No disrespect to Curaçao, Ecuador have to win that game by at least 2-0, right? And then you play Germany. I think the Germany game could really suit Ecuador. Germany play very open, very expansive, and I think that the defense is shaky. And that could allow Ecuador to really get in there, attack, press them, create chances, and catch Germany on the counter, because I think Germany on the counter struggle. So I think that game could be a really good one. And the attack for Germany, I think Ecuador can defend against. So I really fancy Ecuador in that game. I think the hardest game for them is going to be the Côte d'Ivoire game, especially without Caicedo. And then, if you win the group as Ecuador, you play the winner of France's group, probably France, in the round of 16. That's really hard. However, could Ecuador take down France? It's possible. It's really possible because they just lock it down, they keep a clean sheet and they win on penalties. That is the most Ecuador thing that Ecuador could ever do. And it genuinely is possible. I mean, it's also a chance that France absolutely, easy win, 2-0 and then Ecuador going home. But that game, you wouldn't count Ecuador, you'd be silly to count Ecuador out. If you come second, you play second place from that group, right? So in the round of 32. So potentially a Senegal or a Norway. Now, Ecuador have trauma from Senegal. Let's not forget 2022, right? That was a traumatic experience for all Ecuadorian fans, and I was devastated to see them go out the tournament to Senegal in that moment. And I don't think they want to see Senegal again because I think Senegal are one of the strongest teams. So Ecuador have a tricky pathway, and if you come third, it's probably Mexico, host nation at the Azteca. So Ecuador are going to have to go up against a juggernaut very soon outside the group stages, right? Let's be completely honest with that. But I think that these guys are a team that is most equipped to handle a big team, to play against one of the big boys. I mean, in qualifying, right, the way they played against Brazil and Argentina, right, they could just lock it down. At the Copa America, drawing 1-1 with Argentina and almost winning it at the death. Now, they beat Argentina at home, right? They beat Argentina in Guayaquil. They beat Colombia away. They've had some impressive results. And I think they absolutely could do that at the tournament. But I think it's on Becasese now. I think it's on Becasese. The pressure's on him. He needs to get team selection right. He needs to get tactics right. I would be playing a back five if I was Ecuador manager. I think this team is built for a back five with Estupiñán and Preciado as the wingbacks. Angelo Preciado should be starting at the World Cup. This guy is such a good player. I've watched him for years at Sparta. I absolutely love him. I think he's incredible. I think that his dribbling 1v1, he's a man that you just give him the ball and he's fearless. He will just go into it, right? And he really, when you need something, we had this at Sparta. We've had so many games where we didn't know what to do. Give the ball to Preciado, goes round two men, crosses it in, and that could really be the difference for Ecuador. I think that could be fantastic if you have him on the right hand side, Estupiñán on the left, who always, when he puts on the La Tricolor shirt, always steps it up. I think this team is built for a back five with a back three of Hincapié, Pacho and Ordóñez. That is impenetrable. That is incredible. Caicedo in front. Bro, people are not aware how great this team is going to be at this tournament. And that's why I'm making this video. If you don't know, get to know. Ecuador are one of the scariest golden generations if everything clicks at this tournament. And if they figure out the attack, these guys could be a semi-final team. They could be a semi-final team, 100%. They are absolutely incredible when they're at their best, and it's about clicking into gear just in time for the World Cup. And it's about Becasese, who has really not achieved anything in his managerial career. This is a huge moment for him. This is his first major tournament with Ecuador. He needs to deliver. He needs to deliver. Ecuador is not a generational powerhouse in South America. They've always been one of the smaller teams there, but now is their moment. Now they're producing big players. Now they've got the golden generation. They need to live up to it and they need to do something, and I will be supporting them in every single game. I really hope that Ecuador do well, and I don't want to see any nil-nils. I want Ecuador to be scoring goals. I want Ecuador to entertain me. That's the main thing. I want Ecuador to entertain, and I want Ecuador to win football matches at this tournament. Then I'll be a happy bunny. So buy your stocks, guys. Trust me. Trust me, guys. I'm selling you this. Buy your stocks in Ecuador, or at least buy your stocks in them not to concede. Better clean sheet for Ecuador, easy, cash money, right? If you're a betting man, like I am, bet on Ecuador to keep clean sheets, it's cash money. Going forward, we have to see. But defensively, super strong, and they're going to entertain, they're going to bring the fans, they're a passionate group of fans, and I'm really excited. Thank you guys for watching till the end. Let me know in the comments what country you want to see me do next, and Ecuadorians, I'm with you, and I'll be supporting you guys at the World Cup. I'll see you guys soon.